Hey guys, Josh Schoberg here from Rapscallion Brigade. I am going to do a episode of opening stages. Usually that's Nate's thing, but hey, I'm going to get in on it. And I chose this one for a very special reason. It's one of my favorite arcade games of all time, and when I was a kid, I went to there's a roller skating rink here called Cheapskate. I don't think it's around anymore. But the two games that I played there pretty much religiously was this and Rampage. And I remember as a kid, and I'm talking like, early teens, maybe even, 12, whatever. I would play this, and I told myself one day that I would own it. I would have a copy in my house. And as I got older and I kind of got into the working world and started making enough money, I ended up buying one off of eBay. I lived in Colorado at the time, and I had it shipped freight to my apartment, and it was in my living room for a long time. So this version here is on the PlayStation 3, and it's got a lot of extra stuff, in addition to the free play and the difficulty modes and stuff. Once you've beaten the game, it actually unlocks the Japanese ROM of it, which has some different power-ups and some other changes and things like that. So, just like in the arcade version, you can play as any of the four family members. Marge is always my go-to. I always just thought it was hilarious that you would attack with a vacuum, but the story, if you can call it that, is basically right there. That's the entire thing. Smithers is apparently stealing some kind of jewel, and it ends up Maggie gets it in her mouth, and you run off with a child like you do. So your standard brawler, beat 'em up, but you get to play as all four of the family members. Like I said, Bart has a skateboard, Lisa has a jump rope, Marge has the vacuum like you see here, and Homer's just a big fat brute. One thing that I really liked about this too is that you have team attacks, and they're different based on every combination of characters. You also have, of course, your standard items, they can pick up, like that there, the bus stop sign. He's got plenty of cameos by other Simpsons family members. Another fun thing right here that I always thought was funny, and this is what I really liked about it, is how many nuances and little things were in here. If you try and pick up the police car by yourself, you just struggle. If you have Homer and Marge, or more family members, you can pick it up and flip the bitch over, which is great. Speaking of cameos and intricacies, one of the things that I actually really liked as well was, as in the beginning, everybody kind of runs out, and then when Smithers runs off with Maggie and the stage starts, everybody runs away. Here you can see that's a throwback from Matt Groening's Life is Hell comic book. Well, at the end, there's 8 stages, technically 7, because the 8th stage is really just the boss fight with Mr. Burns, but depending upon how many players you have when you beat the game, different people will come out to kind of congratulate you for winning. So if it's just one family member, the rest of your family members will come out. And I forget the exact order, but if you beat it with like 2 people or 3 people, then Grandpa comes out. If you beat it with everybody, then the whole family obviously is there already. Grandpa comes out, Patty and Selma come out. I don't even remember who all else. So it's just those little things they throw in here that make this, to me, just, so cool. It's not just your standard throw somebody in here, beat the shit out of them for a while, and then call it a day. So I really like that. And then another thing they did periodically after the stages was these little bonus things where you would pump up a balloon, or there's a couple different ones, I think. It doesn't matter who wins, it's just, I think you get a couple extra points, which is, I think goes towards, like, extra guys. Yeah, so there it is. Like I said, there's 8 stages. You go through various areas of the town. You end up in Moe's Tavern, a graveyard. Here you're in Krusty Land. If you haven't played this, do it. It's available on the PlayStation Network. I think it's on Xbox Live. I'm not entirely sure, but it has the online capability. You can do local multiplayer, online multiplayer, leaderboards here. Definitely worth a checking out. So thanks again to everybody for checking out our videos in general, but especially, you know, coming by and watching my first little opening stages. This is Josh, Chairman of Executive Awesome for Rapscallion Brigade, signing off.